Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Mental Mobility Podcast. I'm Coach Pete. This is episode number, I already forgot, and I said it 17 times, 107. It is episode 107. We have a I always say a very special guest, I always say special guest. Now, this is a very, 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 very special guest, even enough so that I wrote something. So I'm going to read it off this prompt, also called my phone. And here we go. We'd like to introduce you to Matt Bustos from Nutley, New Jersey. Matt is a dynamic individual with passion for creativity and community engagement. Born and raised in Nutley, he's developed a deep connection to his hometown and its residents. Matt's commitment to fostering positive change and spreading joy through his various endeavors. He's a beloved figure in his community, whether he's organizing local events for the gym, or lending a helping hand with the football team, or pursuing artistic and or creative pursuits to better himself and his family. Matt's infectious enthusiasm and genuine care for others shine through. So let's join him in his journey, and we have very special Matt Bustos from Boost Fitness with us today. Say hi, Matt.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Woo.
Round two. Thanks for having me.
Round two. Oh, that's right, though. It's our second time. So much greater this time. What's up, man?
A lot has happened since then, right? I feel like.
Yeah. I think during the time, it's probably almost a year and a half ago, most likely, because it was the first string of podcasts that I did. And you got married. You have a 1-year-old child, a little over one now, right? Correct?
In 2 to 3 months.
2 to 3 months. 2 to 3 months, you'll be one?
No. A year and 2 to 3 months.
Oh, a year and 2 to 3 months. Yes, a year and 2 to 3 months. That's a handful. Has the 2 gyms that he works and manages with. Still has a meal prep service, I believe. What else? What else is going on?
I think that's it. I got the 2 gym studios with Karen, got the meal prep business still going, and then I'm a father. So I think that's enough.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, that's it. So yeah, I think that is a lot to handle and take care of. With what we're talking about right now, how do you manage? How do you manage doing all these things? How does it work?
It's very hard. And it's kind of one of those things where you just got to figure it out. Let everything happen. Just figure it out on the way. You're going to make mistakes. Times are going to get tough, but just like you told me, you got to ride the wave. Whether it's business going to go up and down, but you prepare for it. Hard times are going to be hard, but you can get past it. Time heals all. So anytime you have a hard time, just got to keep pushing through, keep believing in yourself, and keep it going. As far as management, it really kind of helps to have a set schedule if you can. Maybe you got to write down your day the day before, whether it's your clients, what time you're going to wake up, and then schedule in your clients, and then schedule off. At least for me, I like to schedule off 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. is just family time. So I'll go home, spend some time with the wife and the baby, and then back to work. Yeah, that's just try to schedule your day is the best way to do it.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the best gems you can hold on to whenever you are juggling so many different things, right? Even if you're not juggling things, maybe you're just a person that can't really focus on one, right? And, that morning where you're you think you're going to do this and all of a sudden you do that, and then you're here and you already forgot the first thing that you were trying to do. Scheduling and writing down exactly what it is you're looking for or aiming for is very, very important. And it's a great tip. That's a great tip for everyone, man. When you had the question in my head and I just forgot it, I should have fucking wrote it down. When you schedule, nope, that's not it. Okay, for your family time, right? Do you feel it's so much different now than when we talked 2 years ago? I guess you could say in the level of before you didn't have that kid,
right,
or didn't have your child, and now you really didn't have much to plan. Am I correct?
Right. Yeah, it's completely 360, completely different. Everything changes. Your child, that's your top priority on your list of just life in general. Once we had the kid, you don't realize until you have a child how much actual free time you actually had before the child. You're oh my gosh, I had no child back then. I could have just did whatever I wanted. Now it's 1 to 1:15, everything's got to be scheduled in. This meeting 12:15 to 1:15. As soon as I get out of here, I got to go home, spend time with the kids. So everything is on time, especially now.
Right, and just
time to waste.
I'm sorry.
You have no time to waste now.
No. That's definitely the big difference between not understanding and understanding, right? A lot of people judge, and I've done it too. What are you talking about? What do you mean you don't have time? I'll just go out. You can do it. And all of a sudden you're oh, okay, I got it. We got to get a babysitter to go out. Oh, okay. Otherwise. And then when you go out, you don't want to fucking be there, right? You just want to go back home and be I feel so guilty. Leave, God, you know.
Or like again, you like to socially drink or whatever it is. Now it's like, all right, I have a kid at home. I can't get how I used to get. That's done. The wife takes one, but you can't not be anymore.
Right. We try not to, and there's gonna be that one time you are, and then you're
Yes.
gonna fucking regret it really bad.
I have.
Like, Dad. It's like, please shut the fuck up.
Leave me alone.
I didn't mean to do it, I swear. I had two. It became 30. They're done that for sure. I remember one time, it's a quick story. We just had Phoenix and like we still weren't used to it. So it was Bruce Soltis' wedding. And it was somewhere in downtown Jersey City, right on the fucking harbor. Beautiful wedding, fun time. And then I remember coming out of there. I don't remember. Actually, I don't remember. But I remember getting out of there and had a pizza in my hand. So I brought home a bunch of pizza from Pizza Vita. They had a truck there. And then I jumped in and what's up?
I think I was your date, or am I wrong?
Oh my God, you were.
I was there. Okay. You took me as your date. That was your great wedding.
And that's how much I remember.
Right.
Anyway, Matt flat left me. He went somewhere. Then I jumped. You went out afterwards, correct? I don't remember. You're my date. That's right. What a fucking shitty dater I am. God, I don't remember. I definitely remember. That's right. You were. I have pictures of it. Oh my God, Jesus. Anyway, I was in the Uber. I went home, and then my wife said at 3 a.m, I wanted to pick up Phoenix. Oh no, I grabbed Phoenix out of his crib, and then I went outside in my underwear, and I was just rocking him to sleep, quote unquote. I was rocking Phoenix to sleep outside in my underwear after the wedding. So after that day, I learned my lesson that I'm never doing that again.
Go to sleep. It worked.
He was already sleeping.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't awake. I woke him up by taking him out of the fucking crib, and then I picked him up because I probably just wanted to hold him. Obviously, I don't remember, and I have like glimpses of it. That's all it is. All right. Anyway, so that's a funny story. Well, speaking of stories, let's switch gears back to where we were. You were talking about tough times and like riding the wave, right? I remember we talked about riding the wave. Could you tell us a time that you used? I mean, you do it every day pretty much, but I don't know how to word this. How does fitness and exercise and doing movement help you in those dark times?
I would say, let me just think of an example. Like, I do jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is, I don't want to say saved my life, but it's so important to me that I got back to it because it just took, whatever I'm thinking of all day, I don't think about it. I'm just like in the present, in the time of being on the mats, sweating, playing chess with the other person. Just like not thinking about the tough times, just clearing my head basically and thinking about something else other than like what's going on in life.
It's very, as a person that does jujitsu too, it's very meditating, right? And a lot of people say, that's not meditation or working out is not meditation, but it is because all meditation is finding something to focus on and think of that one thing for a moment or a period of time, right? And when you're in jujitsu and you're on the ground, or even if you're just drilling, right, you're not there thinking about the rest of your schedule, right? You're not thinking about what's going to happen if. The only thing you're thinking about is what happens if I do something here, right? Presently. And it really is a great sport. So how long have you been doing it for now? I forget.
Long time. I feel like I got my blue belt in 2017, which is crazy.
Oh, damn. That long ago?
Yeah, I was looking through like pictures and I'm like, I scroll back to like 2017. I'm like, I got my blue belt in 2017. I just took time off. Like I would come back, stop, come back. Life happens.
Right.
But I'm back. That's all that matters.
Right. You're always, whatever belt you're going to be, you're always going to be a white belt, right? And that's kind of the theme of it, or what everyone says inside it, even though you always try to get higher. And then you're like, I don't. And then when you get it, you're like, I don't deserve this fucking belt. Please take this belt away from me. But damn, 2017, you got your blue belt?
Yeah.
Holy crap! I did not remember that. I remember like when you guys first started, it was you and Ames. We had, I guess so, because we had the mats down in the gym, and then we would practice. Like we do like takedown practice or whatever, depending. We can. Your lower back would always hurt when you have to do like double leg.
Marching over like a wrestler, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's right. Oh man. Is there anything else, or do you think jiu-jitsu is probably the best one that you felt has helped you anytime?
For me, that's number one. Second time I can vividly remember, I think my grandma passed away, and that one like hurt me a lot. So I remember going to crank on Washington Ave like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, just hitting the heavy bag.
Yeah.
That helped. Just funny. By myself, 4 in the morning, hitting the heavy bag, and I felt a lot better after. athletes.
Yeah. Again, another focal point and something to, these are all different methods of coping, right? Hitting a bag and people think is violent and not sadistic. I don't know what the word is, just violent and aggressive. But it's a great tool to like release anger and frustration and sadness. That's everyone's wired differently. So for Matt, I'm sure is completely different. He's not going to sit there and try to talk it out. He's not going to sit there and try to write a journal, even though he might, because he does things in that way, maybe a different way. But when it becomes aggression, you've been an athlete since you're what, fucking 3,
Yeah.
You've been competitive since you were probably 7, I'm sure. And after that, it's like you develop that angst, right? You don't know how to release things other than that way. And yeah. Isn't it weird though that you didn't say lifting weights?
Yeah. Well, yeah, no. That doesn't do it.
No. It's very interesting. It's interesting that everyone would assume that you'd be like, oh no, I did, fucking I deadlifted 7,000, that helped me. No.
Lifting doesn't take my mind off what I'm just like stressing. It's just, I think it enhances it. Also because now I own a gym. So now I'm in the gym. Like it's always work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You can't really separate it,
Right.
Like 100% understand that. 100% understand that. And that's why like you try to even try to find times where no one's around at all, right? Or sneak in, but something happens and you always end up just like doing something since you're already there. So how can you actually let it go, right? Your biggest stressor is usually work, and now you're back at it. So jiu-jitsu, hitting a bag. So 3 tips from Matt. Number 1, if you are even a manager or do deal with stressful things in your life, number 1, schedule your day out, right? What does tomorrow look like? Maybe not, you don't have to schedule the whole week out unless you have kids, then you got to fucking really schedule like what's happening in life. And then number 2 is find something you love to do that you're not going to think about anything. Now, a lot of people would treat you as that, Boost does that for people because it's not their profession, right? It's not their specialty. So they don't understand it, most of it. But at the same time, that's their escape where now they're listening to you. I guess being coached, right?
Yeah.
Is the thing that does it. It's like having someone else tell me what to do so I don't have to think about anything that I have to do is kind of another way that helps us heal.
I think everybody operates better that way. Just having somebody like a mentor or a coach, even if you already know it all, right? Like nutrition, I understand nutrition. I know how to lose weight, but I would rather have somebody like tell me, hey, you got to, or check in with me, accountability. This is what you got to do to get to your goal, whatever it is.
Right. Because people think you're a superhuman being, right? That can do everything and knows everything, but you're just as human as the next. What are you saying?
Yeah, it's far from the truth. Everyone thinks you're not. Like we literally struggle the same way they do. Like whether it's working out. Like working out is hard for me. I gotta like force myself to work out most weeks. I don't want to do this.
Yep. Yes, sir.
You're great at movement now. Like you understand everything, and then you're like, I don't have to work out. I know it.
Right. And I know it. I'll never lose it. And then you lost it. Then it's like, fuck, shit. And now I'm comparing myself to someone that was 10 years ago. Let's see. We all have the same struggle, man. Everyone has that same, I guess, search for something a little bit better when sometimes we just need to find something presently to be very content with, because thinking about a lot of stuff that way fucks us up so much, but we can't, it's not something you can avoid, I guess. It's not something you can avoid. When did you start using PEDs? No. When did you start using exercise when did you start liking movement and exercise?
Flashback to once I got my internship with you at Crank years ago. I don't know what year that was. At the time I was a freshman in college doing phys ed and health, getting into that route. But then I always wanted to like learn from like, or just visit Crank to see what they're about. And then that's when I got hooked, like watching all the coaches at Crank coach. I'm like, oh, this is great. And then I just kept with it. And then from that starting point at Crank, that just hooked me on to what I wanted to do.
It kind of matched your values.
Yeah. And sitting down with you that first day, like for the internship, you're just interviewing like the Justin Bieber question. You like Justin?
Yeah.
I'm like, I should say yes. So maybe I get the internship, which I did. I remember you were asking, like, what do you see? Where do you see yourself in X amount of years, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I want to be the greatest trader I can. I want to own my own studio. Fast forward, I have it now. And now that I have it, it's like, what's next? Now it's like, I need something like what can I do next to better myself? And then you look back, right now you don't feel like you're doing much. Maybe you need to be doing more. But then you look 10 years ago, you're like, this is exactly where I wanted to be. So you're actually, now how do we progress from there?
Correct. A lot of us don't look back, right? Everyone's like, forget the past, forget the past. Like, no, use it as a reminder to where you used to be, right? And I remember that interview. I remember the Justin Bieber questions. And then there was a Saved by the Bell one too. I don't know if you got that one, but it was like, finish the song, teacher popped the test. And like, these are the things we did. Like, I didn't want to make Crank like just cookie cutter, right? And for you to, when you came in, you automatically know if the person's going to be good, right? You just know. And with you and even Neil, it was the same day. It was like, we just knew that it's like you guys were open, right? Versus I've had other ones where people are like, oh no, well, I do this and I did speed and I do ladder drills. Do you guys do that? I'm like, I don't do ladder drills because I don't know them well. And I don't think these people really care about ladder drills. They just want to have a good time. They want to work out. And with you had such an open mind to like want to, especially in the first couple weeks of you just, shadowing, you ask questions and you want to know more. You want to know more. You did it on your own. Like we didn't even have to like really teach you because you took it to your own, not advantage. You took it to your own hands and did a lot of that stuff on your own. You always signed up for seminars. You always went out and did stuff. You lifted consistently, and now look at you. Your dream did come true because you put that work in. Like you fucking put the work that you said you were going to do. Mamba mentality. Is that yours? Is that it? Am I wrong?
It's up there.
It is up there, right?
Yeah.
Or it's a quote or theme
somewhere.
You guys, yeah. Do you know? I forget what it is. I don't know. Am I right? It's about like working for. I don't know.
Mamba mentality. Constant quest to be the best version of yourself.
That's it. I knew something of that. And now it's next, right? For you, it's like, what's next? Right now, if you don't know, it's not a big deal. But some people will rush that, rather than just letting it fall.
Yep.
So that's cool. It's cool. All right. Well, hold on. Take a pause. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break to listen to a little bit of our sponsors this week. So hang on tight. Give us a second, and we'll be right back with Matt. Then I'm going to forget to add the sponsorship. And here we are with our sponsor, DBT Deck. The DBT Deck. This is a way for people that have maybe distress. They call it distress tolerance. So it's a method or methods to feel better, to get better, to work on yourself. And I think it's very important that we do so. So this is the exercise that we're going to do every week is the DBT moment. This one, or the skill we're going to talk about today, picked out is called Improve the Moment. So improve is an acronym. Let me tell you what it stands for. It stands for imagery, meaning, prayer, relaxation, one thing in the moment, brief vacation, encouragement. So obviously there's a bunch of things in this one that you can do and work on to feel better, but the skill in the acronym Improve makes life a little better when it's at its hardest. When in crisis, you have a choice between sinking into your distress or investing in behaviors that might improve how you feel in spite of everything. Especially during the tough times, strive to improve the moment. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to improve the moment, which means we can sit there and all day long, I can think about how bad my day was and how sunken in I can feel. And I do it a lot, right? Where I keep thinking about the same thing over and over, and now you're in a negative spiral of what it is you're trying to do. So for that moment, try to catch yourself. And when you do so, maybe go somewhere alone, get away from all the sentries, nice quiet place. And you could do imagery, right? Thinking about nice things, oceans, views, mountaintops. You can look at pictures or watch videos of it. Something to kind of calm you down and get you out of that train of thought. Meaning, find or create some purpose, meaning and value in pain. Remember, listening to or reading about spiritual values. Focus on the positive aspects of things. Focus on the positive aspects of painful situations. So it's tough. Really think about the meaning of things. Prayer, open your heart. We know what prayer means. I pray a lot. Relaxation. Calm down, hang out, put on a 15-minute binaural beat meditation video, so self or guided meditation video. One thing in the moment, I do a lot. I just think of the one thing that I'm doing in that moment. So if I get stuck thinking too much or being in that rut, I think about what's in front of me, maybe focusing on one thing, maybe just looking at this deck and kind of really feeling the box and what's it look like, what's it feel like, what's it smell like, really getting my senses involved inside that. And brief vacation. Brief vacation is kind of just taking a second, get out of there, give yourself a brief vacation. Get in bed, put the covers up over your head for 20 minutes, rent a room somewhere, do something where you're going to be on a vacation. Maybe sit outside on a beach chair and go on vacation for a little bit. Set some time in your day to kind of reset that structure of negative thoughts that you're having. And the last one is with encouragement. Cheerlead yourself, repeat over and over, I can stand it, it won't last forever, I'll make it out of this, I'm doing the best I can do. All right, that was a really fast way of doing it, but if you want to learn more about it, you can always get the DBT deck. I'll put a link down below, and definitely check it out because it's something I use almost daily. So I have to practice my distress tolerance. I have to practice my skills. Just like anything else, I have to practice having a better mind. Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you for listening to the sponsorships. Matt, here's a question for you. Where can people reach you before we start going to the next part of the next questions? Where can people contact you, reach you, and or find you?
Fastest way, probably Instagram. My Instagram at Matthew J. Bustos, or my other gym page at Boost Performance NJ. You can DM me right there. I'm usually active on my phone, and I can hit you back with any questions.
Ooh, Boost Performance MJ and or Matthew J. Bustos, correct?
Yes.
All on IG. So guys, you'll pop up. Bloop, bloop. It should make that noise. Bloop, bloop. Right there, and we'll be good. So we got a couple more questions before we move along here. The next one is, we talked about getting coaching, and most people need that. What do you do to influence yourself more, to educate yourself more?
To educate myself more, I just look at what's going on in the fitness industry. Who's crushing it, kind of like who in the right direction that I want to go towards, whether it's the business side aspect or the training side. So you kind of just find who you like the most in the industry that's doing it at a very high level, that's been doing it for years. And then you try to learn from them, whether it's just certifications or whatever they offer. Maybe it's coaching. Just reach out to the people that you see doing well, and take a little bit from one person, take a little bit from another person. Just grab from everywhere, different directions, and just make your own at the end of the day.
The grain of salt, right? Take a little bit, a little piece of everything. Everyone's like, take this with a grain of salt. It's like, yeah, but how would I just take your grain of salt? And then the next grain of salt, next grain of salt. Now you have your own recipe. That's kind of how everyone thinks they're so innovative, right? And you may be, but that innovation is still stirred from a mixture of people's seasoning, right? People's salt that you've been taking. But following people and listening to people that actually inspire you is the most important. How many times have you like listened to someone or like bought a program and you're like, oh, this guy's the best, but you never really even know who the person is. It's like, it's fucking stupid. It's 300 pages of nothing. It's a PDF in your computer forever, but you have it. All right, man. Here's the question, because we did the takeaway. So what's one question that you wish that I asked you?
I think you asked me this last time. I don't know. Mm-hmm. This is like one of those ones where you have to. Oh,
anything else you want to share?
One question that I wish you asked me. Hey, Matt, can we talk?
Of
course. Anytime, about anything, anywhere, anytime for you. One of my biggest mentors. I feel like, you moved and, you went through what you went through. And like my personality is like, I don't really know how to, I guess, comfort or ask people how they're doing, if they're in need, or I don't want to be pushy. I feel like too many people ask you already, so I don't want to ask you. I don't want to be annoying. That's like the way I think. So like it ends up being like me not even reaching out. One deep down I want. So maybe I'd rather somebody else reach out. Like you would reach out to me. You would ask me the question, hey Matt, you have a few minutes to talk? I need somebody to talk. So if you ask me that, I would love it.
That is the fucking best question answer I've ever heard in my life. So
boom.
Thank you. That was if you made that up on the spot, you fucking won an Emmy for that one. I did. Because that's a good one, because it's very true. Right. A lot of people think or take personal that someone is not reaching out to them, but it's your personality type, and your personality type is not one to do that, because maybe you overthink the thought that how many people are, or maybe I'm just bothering them. Right. How many people are asking, how's he doing? Right. And I'm sure that we have such a great relationship that it's like, if he really needed me, he knows that I would be there, Right. And thank you for reinforcing that. Because sometimes in my head, I'm like, this guy's so fucking busy, even just to shoot the shit or whatever, It's like, I don't want to bother him. He's got his kid, he's got his thing, and you are absolutely probably thinking, you are thinking the same exact fucking thing. So for you viewers out there or listeners, like maybe that person that you think is having a tough time and you're thinking that way, right? You're thinking the way we think. Maybe we should go opposite of what we do and break that silence and maybe talk to them or just say, what's up? Hey, thinking about you, because it's very easy to get into what me and Matt do. It's just like, we're good. We're good. We're good. Until I want to talk to him. I want to talk to him. He doesn't want to talk, and now it's like, what if something was there that we need to talk about? But I do know that if I'm in really big trouble, that I will ask him, right? And I'm sure with him, he will ask me, but it's got to be like extreme, right? It's got to be the end of the line pretty much. But for you guys out there, if it's like your kid you haven't talked to in fucking ages, maybe he's thinking the same thing, So good question or good answer or question answer. That was fucking awesome. Thanks. That's gonna be a plug on a YouTube short. Anything else for us before we jet out?
I think that's it. How's Vegas? Good?
Vegas is cool. Yeah, that's it's such a complete 180 than when I had a minute left. It's okay. Complete 180 from where I was when I first talked to you. Before, when I talked to you, I was just crying pretty much the entire time because I couldn't even talk to you without crying, So that can show you the progress that I've made being out here. I could
tell when you visited when you were here last time, just like it felt different. It felt like you were okay. I felt like, okay, he's okay. Yeah. And I was happy.
Cool.
And again, I don't express that. I should have said, hey, I didn't say it, but in my mind, I'm like, in my heart, in my mind, I'm like, he's good.
And I appreciate that. So thank you. Yeah, it's good. All right, let me close out. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for coming out. Again, if you need to reach Matt, you can go to Instagram. He's there. Matthew J. Bustos IG. He's always on. And then Boost Performance NJ, correct?
Yes, correct.
Yes. Check them out there. You can always reach out. If you guys are in the neighborhood or around New Jersey, northern New Jersey, check out the gym. Contact Matt. Get a free trial in. If it's something that you need, maybe. All right, cool. Yeah, man. Cool. Yeah, we got like extra. I don't want to keep you too, so you get home in a good time. What time is it? 10 o'clock? So I mean, it's 1 o'clock there, right? I'm sorry?
12:57.
Perfect. So I don't want to keep you for your 1 to 3 kid time. Hopefully.
No, we're good. We're good.
Yeah. Hopefully sleep time. I love that. I remember you're like, I want to take a nap because you went to see Blink 182, right?
Yeah.
In the suites, nonetheless, you fucker.
Thanks, Cole. Shout out Cole, McDonald's.
Shout out Cole from McDonald's. That was like, my brain went like, what the fuck? Really? He works at McDonald's? That's amazing. But God, now I get why he's such an amazing runner. It's chicken nuggets, man. There's actually, did you see this guy? By the way, 30 days at McDonald's, and it was real. Like every day he ate McDonald's.
He ate it. Yes.
You hear about this guy?
Wait, is this recent or like old?
No, this is recent.
Oh, no, I didn't see
It's another one. He had McDonald's, but the only thing he did was he cut the portion sizes in half. So he would like buy on Monday and then cut the meals in half and then have the same thing on Tuesday, like the other half of it. And he lost like 75 pounds.
Wait, how many meals though a day?
3 meals a day.
Damn, right. 75.
Yeah, and a better blood profile.
Wow.
Isn't that weird? Doesn't it make you question shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I know when I eat it, it doesn't make me feel good. That I know. But like he was just so bad that like that deficit, right? And just or maybe having the exact amount of calories the body needed at that time. I don't know. It's weird, right? It contradicts everything we teach, right? It contradicts everything we've learned. Cool. All right. So let's now that you had some time, do you have anything else that you might want to share with us? This has to be just off the record, or just to talk.
I don't know. Nothing really.
All right, I'm gonna ask you a question then. So like, since it's the mental, like again, I'm making up shit as we go along. Since the mental mobility podcast, and when I define mental mobility, it means the ability to think not only so linear or do things linear, is to do a variety of things. Same thing with working out. Like in working out and fitness, you need mobility because you're stuck, right? You have to get unstuck, and it's not pretty, it's not fun, but we have to do that mobility and warm up in order to perform better, in order to be better. So in your brain, right? Sometimes our brains get wired one way, right? Now they get stuck. So we have to find that mobility to kind of rewire everything that's happening, whether it's depression, anxiety, OCD, whatever it is, our brain thinks one way. Is there anything that you do I could even say daily, and it could be a little part of a ritual or a thing that you do, a reading, a class. Is there anything else that you do to kind of find more mobility in your mind?
I'm trying to think.
It's probably part of your normal day. I'm sure you do it. You just don't fucking know.
I think sometimes when I really need to, like I really stressed out, just lay on my back wherever I am, do my breathing count, close my eyes, dark room, 4 seconds inhale, 4 seconds hold, 4 seconds exhale through your nose only. So you just breathe through your nose, nasal breathing, fill up the diaphragm, fully exhale. That kind of brings me back to baseline.
Oh, I love it. A box breathing, but nasal.
Box breathing, yeah. Nasal
Box breathing, nasal only. See,
that's what I learned that from somebody, somebody who like really studies breathing.
got
So I
it.
started doing that at the end of classes.
Okay.
Like the classes. So yeah, people like that. Turn the lights off at the end of the class, and then do their box breathing 4-4-4, and then everyone feels great afterwards.
Yeah.
Everyone's in a rush. As soon as you finish your workout, I gotta go. Kids. I'm like, no, let's end 10 minutes early, and then I'm gonna make you do it. And then now they're like not crazy after.
Right. They're actually down, they're actually like, they brought them down to a level where they started, because sometimes it's true, you ramp them up and then they leave and they're ramped, right? They're never de-stressing, honestly. It's such a great addition to it. And such a great tip. Like, shut the lights off. So taking away stimulus, because sometimes when the lights are on, you can still see, right? You can still see stuff. Laying down on your back, diaphragmic breathing. And you learned it from a breathing specialist, right? You said so.
Right.
Great tool.
Somebody studies breathing. They like love studying it. So, and I tried it. I'm like, oh, this worked.
Absolutely. Anytime you do it, or just do whatever time you feel.
Whenever you feel like you need it, do it.
Cool. That's really good. All right, man. Thank you so much for coming out. I appreciate it. I'm sure we will have you again 1,000 more times, please, if that's okay. Hopefully live one time. I really want to figure out how to do this one time where I could, like, when I'm there, to do it and make sure it works as well. We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. But again, if you guys want to reach out to Matt, you can contact him on Instagram, find him, DM, slide into it. Right, Matthew J. Bustos or Boost Performance NJ. Again, boop, boop, should pop out right there. Thank you for coming out to episode number 107 of the Mental Mobility Podcast. Matt, say peace.
Peace out, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Peace.